Hello, my name is Kreay, and today we will be reviewing Chainsaw Man Chapter 227, titled Tastes Like Shrimp and Blood. But before we get into that, I have to show you the Volume 23 cover, which is a cover of Pochita. This looks so good. We finally get a Pochita cover, and it looks good. And you can see like the background has kind of like a circle, so it kind of like Makima's eyes, kind of, or like not Makima's eyes, but like a horseman's eyes. But it was good. And I want to talk about how long we have left of Chainsaw Man based off of this cover. So let's get into the review first. So this chapter is pretty quick because it's mostly a fight chapter. It starts off with us ending where we left off, with Denji looking at his arm that just got cut off by the Locust Devil. Asa is on the ground in pain, screaming it hurts, and Denji asks Asa, what's the deal with that devil? That's an important question I want to get into after the end of this review. Asa tells Denji that she doesn't know. The devil immediately lunges at Denji, and Denji dodges, and the devil pulls back, stopping himself. Denji says, yo, who the hell are you? Which is also, again, very important. I'll get to that at the end of the review. But then the Locust Devil then charges at him. You can see like a blurred thing behind Denji when he asks that. The Locust Devil basically speed blitzes Denji, grabs him by the scarf, and then flings Denji through a bunch of buildings. And we have a crazy good double spread. I love this double spread so much. It's really good. We have a really good double spread of the Locust Devil throwing Denji through multiple skyscrapers or apartments, a lot of buildings. Then it's kind of hard to see because of the filter, but the Locust Devil then jumps towards Denji and starts doing a barrage of attacks and knocking them further through the building. Asa grabs Denji's arm and throws it at Denji. Denji catches it and then shoots a chain through the Locust Devil's abdomen and pulls the Locust Devil towards him and cuts through the Locust Devil. Next, Denji immediately begins to eat the Locust Devil, thus erasing the Locust Devil from existence. Asa says, are you okay, Denji? And he says, tastes like shrimp, and we have Asa smiling. And immediately ruining the moment, Yoru comes back and instantly and bangs Denji using a strong bullet. Denji is knocked down and says, no fair. She does it again and again, and Denji falls to the ground. Then we can see that Denji has no arms, no legs, and Yoru says bang again, ending the chapter. Now let's get into the topics. I want to immediately talk about the Locust Devil and being eaten. I've seen a lot of people complaining, saying, oh, the Locust Devil, he's just there to do nothing, or nothing came to the Locust Devil, or Fujimoto did nothing with the Locust Devil. By the way, sorry, I didn't say it before. This will be a rant video. People were complaining about the Locust Devil, or how Fujimoto didn't do anything with the Locust Devil. Listen, I say obviously the Locust Devil will be important in the future. As you can see, my main evidence being Denji asking what's the deal with that devil, because the Locust Devil was able to cut off Denji's arm and incapacitate Yoru, which we have never seen a Denji devil do before. The Locust Devil even beat Denji down significantly, and Denji needed Asa's help to get his arm back so he could fight back. Denji also says, but after the Locust Devil speed blitzes him, who the hell are you? And the Locust Devil ignores him to continue to fight. So clearly the Locust Devil is significant. I would not say he's a primal devil, but he's a significant devil. And I believe that he has more of a role to play later. And we will see what that is, obviously, later. But my issue is, and again, it's a personal issue, seeing people complain about, oh, he was for nothing, or oh, Fujimoto didn't do anything with him. Well, obviously, this is, once again, a weekly series. We have to wait to see what happens. I say weekly, but unfortunately, we have another break week. Oh, my goodness. But you get the picture. So, listen, my theory still stands that the Locust Devil was a follower of Pochita. I don't know about other people's theories, but the apocalypse and stuff, I really do think that it's a Pochita follower, and that we'll be getting more Pochita followers soon. That's what I think is going to come of it. And that's also why I think the Locust Devil was so strong. But we just have to wait and see. And I just wanted to kind of touch on seeing people, or the stuff I was seeing on Twitter and stuff. But anyway, let's move on. Next, I want to talk about what is going to happen next chapter. Now, again, obviously we have 2 weeks for the next chapter, but I feel like we only have 3 ways to go from here. because I made a point to mention that Denji has no arms and no legs. So basically Denji can't fight. And Yoru is putting on pressure still. She's going to bank him again. So I think there's 3 things that will come from the next chapter and where we go from here. One being, and I don't think this is going to happen, by the way, but Yoru makes Denji into a weapon. I really don't see that happening at all because, again, that would mean the end of Denji. I mean, the story to continue, so I don't think she's going to make him into a weapon. So, yeah, 1 or A is done. B, what I think is going to happen is Asa is going to intervene between this Yoru and Denji exchange this time. Who knows what Asa can really do? She really can't control the body that much, but I think that's a likely scenario, but it's not what I think is going to happen again. So A being Yoru turns Denji into a weapon. I don't really think that's going to happen. B being Asa intervenes. I don't think that's going to happen. C is what I think will happen. And what C is I think another strong devil will save Denji. And I think that strong devil will either be the Locust devil that was just eaten or another one of Denji's or Pochita's followers. And let me explain why. Now, obviously, one instance of someone intervening, saving Denji from Yoru right here, I say it's one of Pochita's followers. That could just literally come in like similarly to how Beam saved Denji from Reze or something like that, or like attack Yoru or something, or grab Denji, something like that, obviously. But another instance could be the Locust devil saves Denji somehow. Because, and again, sorry, but this is about to get into a kind of crazy conspiracy theory type thing. But the title of the chapter of 227, this chapter is called Tastes Like Shrimp and Blood. Now, and blood is obviously significant because we saw no blood in the chapter other than obviously the blood of the devil, the Locust devil. Now, my theory is this, that the Locust devil purposefully got himself eaten by Denji so that he could talk to Pochita. That is what my theory is. If the Locust devil is really, and again, obviously I don't know for sure, so this is just a theory, and it could be wrong next chapter easily, just preface this, but I think it's possible that obviously, similar to how when Denji drank Power's blood, and then after Denji drank Power's blood a long time later, Pochita was able to talk to Power inside of Denji's body, and then Power was able to regenerate from Denji's body. I think the Locust devil purposefully got himself eaten so that he could talk to Denji or Pochita inside like their mind dimension or whatever, inside their mind basically, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I think that is not impossible to happen. But regardless if it does happen or not, I think the situation still stands. Like someone has to intervene because Denji can't fight anymore. Yeah, he can't regenerate, I don't think, unless he has no arms, he has no legs. So unless he does another, I would say, transformation, which I really doubt is going to happen, a third party has to intervene to help him, or Asa has to help him, or he's going to get turned into a weapon and we move on, which I really doubt. But those are the 3 scenarios I think will come from this. But we gotta wait and see. 2 weeks, unfortunately, again. Other than that, this chapter was pretty short because mostly it was a fight chapter. So we gotta wait 2 weeks for the next one. And I don't really have much to say other than those theories. I still believe in the Denji follower or the Pochita follower theory. So we just have to wait and see, I guess. But I will see you next video. Bye.